Music.
Reviews.
Chat.
Poems.
Comedy.
Writing. Interviews.
ELFM, it's radio, but so much more.
Evening, everybody, and welcome to our very first Loudspeaker Live. This is the Father's Day edition, since it's Father's Day tomorrow, and we're broadcasting live from the chapel and online at chapelfm.com. We're also streaming on YouTube, so make sure you're sharing it out to all your people. Don't forget, like our page at facebook.com/loudspeaker radio, loudspeaker show. And don't forget, tune in to our regular show on the first Tuesday of the month at 9 p.m. Joining us to perform live in the chapel tonight, we have JJ Bance. Woo! And he's been warming our audience up, ready for the show. We also have in the house Oliver Rees. Woo! Also performing live for us today, Peter Spafford. Woo! And we've got Mike Southwell, also from Leeds, and he will also... Let me start that again. And we have Mike Southwell. And we'll be interviewing live on the show, Intensive. Yeah, excited for that. We were also supposed to be joined by Keeks, but unfortunately he's unable to make it due to COVID. We're wishing him a speedy recovery, and we'll make sure we get him on a loudspeaker show soon. Bit of a tongue
Give it up for Keeks!
Get well soon, Keeks. But we're so excited to have the rest of you guys with us today in our studio audience. And we also have Real Talk. Hi, guys. Yay. We also have Hello Hip Hop. Hi. And Vulnerable Citizen Support. Hi, thanks for joining us. And they'll be sharing their 2 pence with us whenever they get the chance. This is a bit of a hybrid show that is currently being broadcast on Chapel FM and live streamed on YouTube. Find the links to the live stream on our page at facebook.com/loudspeaker show. And don't forget, share.
Thank you for that, D3. Looking forward to hearing from our spotlight guests today, as well as the artists in the show. To kick the show off, we have our interview guest, Intensive, performing Grown Up. We'll be hearing about Intensive later in the show, but for now, we're going to hand over to him to introduce his first track, Grown Up.
This is it, let the credit roll. So alone while I sleep by the telephone. Trying to find a spark without the lecky though. My blood boils but the kettle won't. If I came back as a failure, would you let me know? If you see me start to change, would you let me go? I quit the gambling, you said I better don't. In a box room, dreaming of a second home, fatherless son, in need of validation. Empty spaces in my mind and the vacant. Blanker than a box on my birth certificate where it should tell me his name and occupation. But I just kept walking, and the drink kept talking. The burdens that we carry so became less important. Surprised by the presence of emotion, and how effortless it was to evoke it. Happiness I feel, built a palace from a mattress and a quilt. Still there is a void I've been planning to fulfill. Are you stronger from the carrying the guilt? Is the burden weighing heavier? The questions I repeat. For eventually we meet, will we ever meet? Let's just wait and see. But who the hell are you expecting me to be? I don't want to cry, but the tears start glossing over mine. Your shadow over every one of mine. Don't apologize, sorry doesn't fix a loss of time. We ain't got a lot of time. I'm a fatherless son in need of validation. Empty spaces in my mind and they're vacant. Blanker than a box on my birth certificate where it should tell me his name and occupation. But I just kept walking, and the drink kept talking. The burdens that we carry so became less important. Surprised by the presence of emotion and how effortless it was to evoke it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a fantastic start to the show. And, you know, the lyrics of that were so powerful. It just goes to show, you know, what impact you can have on a child's life with not having a father or a father figure there. So that's why during the show we'll be spotlighting some of our studio audience to find out what they get up to with fathers and father figures in and around the community.
Our first spotlight guests I'm very, very delighted to introduce are my good friends and hosts of the fantastic Real Talk show, Jez, Simon and Richard. They describe themselves as three ordinary guys giving their opinions and real talk about what's going on in the world. They talk sport, media, culture, music and dad life. Tell us a bit about yourself, guys.
Hi, I'm Simon.
I'm Jez.
I'm Richard. And we present the Leeds-based podcast, The RT Show, where we talk about everything that's going on in the world.
Back to the mic, please.
Media, culture, sport, current affairs, and just giving our opinions on that.
And for today, obviously, with it being invited to the Loudspeaker live event, it's important as a father of three that, I'm just delighted to be here with the guys. And just looking forward to Father's Day, really, and sharing this moment with you all.
Yeah, I'm a father of one, and I'm a father of one, and just being able to talk with my friends and just broadcast it to the world, I'm having fun and just looking forward to these live performances.
Make sure you give us your links, guys, before we say sit you down.
You can hit us up at the RT Show podcast.com, or those of you in the audience, scan the QR code on the back of our shirts.
Woo!
Oh, fantastic. So all things male gets talked about on your podcast, yeah? Great. Then hopefully we can get some more people to get involved and join up with you guys.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Next up, we have Peter Spafford, who is a writer and musician. His new poetry collection, Frisk, is out with Yaffle on the 30th of June, and he's the director of words at Chapel FM, so he's one of our own. It is an honour to have you on our show, Peter. What piece are you going to perform for us today?
Well, I'll explain. First of all, it's lovely to be here. It's fantastic to be part of Loudspeaker. And it's brilliant to have Loudspeaker as part of Chapel FM.
Yay!
Brilliant. Well, I'm a father of two. A little while ago, I was a writer with an organisation in Sheffield called Father Figures. And it was supporting single dads. And we did all this writing. And a lot of it ended up in this little book here. And I thought I'd read 4 very short pieces from here. And I think one of the good things about this work that we did, it kind of highlighted some of the anxieties and the kind of vulnerabilities, particularly of young dads, because I think that's not sometimes appreciated. So this first one is by Adam, and it's called Birthday. I think Ben was a week late. I'd worked all day with my brother-in-law. A couple of houses needed finishing. I think we were listening to Live Aid on the radio. I kept going to the phone to call Jane, just to check. She'd spent the day with her sister. Everything was fine. We all had dinner, watched the end of Live Aid, went to bed. My sandwiches were ready for the next day. Jane woke me late. It's happening. You know that feeling in the pit of your stomach when it flips? This is it. 21 years old. Stay Focused is the next piece. It's by Dave. Anita took a deep breath, held it, and pushed. She was so tired, but anyone could see the effort she was putting in. I had breathed in at the same time and kept saying to myself, don't breathe until Anita breathes. As I held her hand, seeing her effort at breathing, I suddenly felt dizzy. At that moment, Anita's contraction ended and she took a deep breath. So I did too, just in time. Anita looked at me and said, stay focused. Two more short poems. We did something called Before I Was a Dad, and we asked the group, before I was a dad, what's the next line? So here was the group's poem. Before I was a dad, I wanted to be a dad. Before I was a dad, I was a criminal. Before I was a dad, I thought I fired blanks. Before I was a dad, my baby was a drug. Before I was a dad, I thought I was happy. Before I was a dad, I was going nowhere. Before I was a dad, I had a good night's sleep. Before I was a dad, I never thought I could be one. And the final poem, if we've got time, is that okay? Is we did something, you know, the whole thing about dads not being funny. It's that line, Dad, you're not funny. So we wrote a poem called Dad, You're Not Funny, and this is by Michael. Dad, you're not funny. Dandelion, Jesse, Tompkins and Lucasade are not our names. My best friend Becky isn't Burdock, and we're not a pop group called Dandelion and Burdock. Dad, you're sad. Why do you jump in the paddling pool with your clothes on? Why do you say you're a monster and chase us around the room till you catch us, turn us upside down and tickle us till we scream rhubarb and custard? Who was Jean-Michel Jarre, and why can't he sing? Dad, you're not funny when you sit alone and think, when you need your space to chill out. Come on, chase us, you ugly green monster. Thank you very much.
Peter, for that brilliant reading. I really appreciate that, and I kind of like Dad, you're sad. I sort of remember saying that to my dad at some point in the past. If people want to hear more about you, where can they get you? What are your links? Sorry, I know you're going to have to run back to the mic.
I've got a website, peterspafford.com. But also, I work here a lot, so look out for Love the Words, which is the other words show. Now they've taken over, of course, but, you know, we're still there.
We're beside you, Peter. We haven't taken over.
We're together. We're alongside each other. Anyway.
So that's peterspafford.com and Love the Words on Chapel FM.
Cheers, Peter. I'm so glad that you're on our show, though. And Peter actually had us on his show, so thanks for the, invitation for that as well. I'm loving that we get to collaborate in spoken word and radio. That's pretty cool. Our next spotlight is Hayden Lee from Vulnerable Citizen Support, which aims to help the most destitute people in society. Hi Hayden,
Hi,
tell us
right.
about yourself.
So my name's Hayden. I run a charity called Vulnerable Citizen Support. Basically we help struggling families, people who can't access food. We run a food bank, a baby bank. Not just that, we take rough sleepers off the street, but instead of taking hundreds of them off at a time, we literally take one person off at a time. So Josh here is 178 days clean from crack cocaine and spice. And all we've done for Josh is literally just guide him. So he's made all his own choices. We've given him different choices to choose from, but we've let him literally just take the ropes himself. We've controlled his finances. We basically controlled your life to start with, but let him have his own choices to turn into the man he is today. Literally last weekend he climbed the Yorkshire Three Peaks, 178 days clean. In 4 weeks' time he's now doing scaffold pipe.
Whoa!
And just before we finish, what we're trying to set out a new aftercare. So over the next 3 to 5 years, we're trying to prove that aftercare. So all these amazing organisations that are out there, they're struggling for that aftercare. So it's all right putting someone in a house or helping them with drug rehabilitation, but if you're not chaperoning them 24/7, we have literally had a team who chaperoned Josh 24 hours a day for the last 6 months. And then 6 months' time, once Josh changes his life, another 6 months, 12 months clean, he'll then end up changing somebody else's life. And we're trying to build an organisation that goes from him changing someone to then somebody else and so forth. So thank you, and thank you for letting us be here tonight.
Thank you so much. Tell us your links. Tell us where to find you.
So we've got a massive following on Facebook. We've got a page that's got over 25,000 followers called Vulnerable Citizen Support. We've got a web page called homelesssupportnetwork.co.uk. Instagram, massive on Instagram at the moment, Vulnerable Citizen Support. But yeah, just follow the work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That sounds like a fantastic organisation. So anybody out there who may be going through something or knows somebody else, make sure you put them in touch with Vulnerable Citizen Support. Find them on social media or Google them. So thank you, Hayden, for sharing that. And well done, Josh, again. I'm loving it. That's fantastic. I love the whole each one teach one as well. So you pass it down. It was fantastic.
I've watched your journey a little online, and I'm really proud and amazed to see you here today with us, and I'm delighted that you came along. So next up, we have our second live performance of the night from Oliver Rees. Oliver is a Birmingham-born, Leeds-based artist. His rhyme schemes and contemplative writing style are evident in his latest EP, Confessions of a Time Waster, produced by DJ Agent M.
Agent M.
Tonight he's performing a track from that EP, Never Too Late. Oliver Rees, take it away.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so big up to the Loudspeaker Live people, big up to Intensive for performing for us. Big up to Peter, big up to the RT show, and big up to the vulnerable people? Okay, so the vulnerable people support, that's great. It's a great thing that's going on here. Happy Father's Day to everyone tomorrow. So let's go. So this track is actually the 4th song off my new EP, Confessions of a Time Waster, entirely produced by DJ Agent M. Give a big round of applause for DJ Agent M, spinning the decks today. So you can find that on everywhere, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. Yo. Another memory dead, laying in a cemetery bed, dearly departed, just the margins of a heavy regret. Introspective in the mirror, see an enemy threat. It's hard living with yourself unless you get it in check. If you're getting in checks, then get it correct. I'm indebted to the clock. Time is money, so expect seconds that you got. Never stop building momentum when your attentions drop. Mind on ascension, my engine revs till I'm dead and gone. And when it's said and done, I'm still in love with the journey. Talk is dirt cheap, and speaking really doesn't concern me. I keep my words brief and it comes together like slurred speech. I endeavour to learn each and every lesson that's worthy. I keep my head in the clouds. I love that dreamscape vision, but it's hard to relay visions. So I just escape in them and they say that paper driven, but I can't have money in the driver's seat. Cash won't keep your mind at ease until you find release. It's never too late to start a new page. They say it's never too late to put the pen to the paper. You can never be too sharp, like the edge of a razor. So endeavour to move smart, lest you step into danger. They say it's never too late to start a new page. They say it's never too late to put the pen to the paper. You can never be too sharp, like the edge of a razor. So endeavour to move smart, lest you step into danger. Because life's way too short to procrastinate. Move forward and back to the food court. If the magistrate full force or it's back to basics. Everybody trapped in cages, strapping masks on faces, trying to scavenge wages. Historical hysteric, foolery is systemic. Hard to believe, easy to discredit. A mixed message, if they embellish and strip merit. It stays hectic and I spit till my lips rip. And you need an underpaid medic. I spray till I lay perish. The state's blemished, but debating you're straight headed. And I'm headed straight to the edge, I doubt that these fakes get it. I'm dying on borrowed dimes, I wish they would take credit. And you see all this blood, sweat and tears, that's the motto. In the world of mice and men, this life's a lotto. So we live every minute at full throttle. And you know, every second's a memory for tomorrow. So remember the debt of this time borrowed. When you're looking for a reason to proceed, still breathing, gotta reach into a season to succeed. When you reach for the heavens like a wish on a star. Cause every ending work this way had a difficult start. But it's never too late to start a new page. They say it's never too late to put the pen to the paper. You can never be too sharp, like the edge of a razor. So endeavour to move smart, lest you step into danger. They say it's never too late to start a new page. It's never too late to put the pen to the paper. And you can never be too sharp, like the edge of a razor. So endeavour to move smart, lest you step into danger. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
I love that.
Thank you very much. Again, big up to the Loudspeaker Live people. Big up to D3 and Sarah Autumn. Big up to the Chapel FM Arts Centre for hosting this. Big up to DJ Agent M for spinning. Hope everyone has a great Father's Day tomorrow. Thank you. You can find me.
Thank you.
And big up Oliver Rees.
Thank you much. It's Oliver Rees on all social media. So if you type in Oliver Rees or on Instagram, it's Oliver Pedro Rees. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Now, the first time I met Oliver Rees is when he performed for Love, Poetry, Hate, Racism event that Sarah and I were involved in. And it was really exciting, and we was really excited to see you again, and that was fantastic. So thanks for being here.
Oliver Rees, never too late. Thank you so much. The next section of our show is a very special spotlight section. And for this, I'm going to pass you over to my co-host, D3, to share.
Okay. So for this spotlight section, I want to talk about father figure. Because sometimes it's not always about fathers. We didn't always be brought up with fathers. Sometimes it's about a father figure. Now, a father figure I want to mention is a man who recently passed away following a long battle with idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. John Collier, or Cooler, was an ice cream man in Chapeltown, Harehills and Little London for over 40 years. So the news of his passing resonated through generations of families in these areas. A very kind and considerate man who wouldn't leave a child without an ice cream, often leading him to make a loss instead of a profit. Cooler, as we all knew him, won the hearts of all he connected with in the communities he served. I, for one, have great memories of him pulling up at the bottom of our street on Nassau Place. Your day just got brighter, and it didn't matter if you couldn't get any money out of your mum and dad, because Cooler Bar had your back. He wouldn't let you have to stand in the back street amongst all the other kids with brightly coloured cones. He gave you one too. And he always stuck around for a chat, and we loved talking to him. I've had many a free ice cream from Cooler, and years later, when I introduced him to my son, even though I tried to pay, he got a free ice cream too. He was a father figure to us all, and you can tell by the reaction to the news of his passing how much he was loved. There was a tribute organised at the Wreck in Chapeltown, where locals gathered to salute Cooler Bar with an ice cream. Hundreds were there to show respect for the man who always made us feel loved, me included. There were speeches, an ice cream salute, a 1-minute silence, and some doves were released in this community-spirited event. A Facebook page was created, and thousands of people have been leaving tributes. If you just search for John Collier or Cooler Bar, it's very overwhelming the amount of emotions being poured out on that page. For example, one said, "I grew up with ice cream treats from John from about the age of 4. He watched me grow and then watched me go through parenthood with my 4 sons, giving them the exact same as they would argue over who had the most ice cream. And he made sure every ice cream or burger was just like the one before. He even said to them, 'I'm Uncle Cooler Bar to you guys,' so that's just what he became. John was an amazing, caring, loving guy, one of a kind, and memories we will share forever. Our thoughts are with all of John's family, REEP, John, aka Uncle Cooler Bar." That was one of the tributes. JJ, you were there.
I was there, man.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Yo, the guy was amazing. Let me just share something with you, if I may.
Okay.
Mom! Dad! Cooler Bar's coming! Can I get some money for ice cream? No, you can't. You've got 5p lollies in the fridge. I've not counted them 5p lollies and them choc ices round in the fridge and put them in there for you to go out and get ice cream. So we would have to go out, leave the house with broke pocket, no money, and walk up to Cooler Bar. And he'd see you. So there'd be people there buying their ice creams, and he'd always smiling, and people would be giving him the money. But he'd always spot you at the back with your pockets out, with no money, with the threat of a choc ice hanging over your head. And then when he'd see you, he'd call you to the front and he'd say, "Young man, come here." And you'd walk up to him and he says, "What's up?" And he'd say, "Cooler Bar." You know when you stand there with your head down, you're looking up. Like, "Cooler Bar. I ain't got no money. I'm broke. Just got choc ices in the fridge, Cooler Bar." And Cooler Bar would say, no, it's all right. Here you go. Take the biggest ice cream. And he'd make sure that he looked after you. And everybody in the community would have the same things to say. We don't know how that man made money. That man gave away more than he sold. And it's a testament to the power that he possessed, that it would bring a community like Chapeltown and surrounding areas to a standstill so we could all commemorate such a great man. So, on behalf of John Cooler Bar and everybody here, please let's show him some love and give him a round of applause. Thank you.
John Collier, aka Cooler Bar, was dearly loved father to Louisa, John Paul and Ferrari, granddad to Bella and Poppy, brother, a father-in-law and a father figure to many thousands. The family had said they greatly appreciate the heartfelt tributes that have been left and paid to John. A private family mass will be celebrated on Wednesday, June the 23rd, and the funeral cortege will proceed down Chapeltown Road from 2 p.m. John Collier's family would like well-wishers and friends to pay their respects down Chapeltown Road from 2 p.m. on Wednesday, 23rd of June. So this spotlight is for you, Johnny, Cooler, my longtime friend, father figure to a whole community. You glued the community together with ice cream, and we will never forget you. Rest in eternal peace and ice cream. And this is his tune. I'm not gonna lie, that chokes me up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. One more time, then take it. Yes, bring it on home. I'll tell you straight now, as soon as this ice cream van pulled up at the bottom of your street, or even when you knew it was at the next and you was the next stop, honest to God, your day just got better. Rest in peace.
Thank you so much, D3 and JJ Bance, for your touching and uplifting tribute to a very special man, father figure and role model to many. Next up, we have Mike Southwell, who's a Leeds-based spoken word artist, writer and activist. His work is inspired by hip-hop and the world around him. He explores themes such as masculinity, mental health, addiction, politics, relationships and fatherhood. And we're excited to have him join us today, and we know he's been raring to get back on the stage. So I'll hand over to Mike now to introduce himself and perform his piece. Mike.
Cheers. So yeah, thanks for having us, Loudspeaker guys. It's been obviously short notice, but I really appreciate the opportunity. First time I performed since March 2020, so hopefully there's not too many. Yeah, pre-COVID. It's a different world, isn't it? So yeah, this piece I'm going to read is called The Prodigal Son. It's a slightly different take on fatherhood. So what's the true measure of a man? How do I prove my worth? What are the landmarks that I must achieve before my time is up in this earth? Because I was never set the example of what a man should be. The only thing my father taught me was what a man shouldn't be. And I was never the prodigal son and had no aspirations to be the kind of man and father that by example you portrayed for me. But thank you for the lessons that I still carry today. Because I will never be the kind of father you were to me in any kind of way. See, I took everything you are not and became the man I am. I took every close-fisted strike from you and I took it like a man. Even at 6 years old, before I was old enough to understand, I learned to hide the bruises left on me by your hands. And as I grew older and stronger, the violence only increased. See, I learned to cry my tears in the safety of bed sheets. Because you told me real men are not meant to cry. At least not for the world to see. And fuck giving you the satisfaction of seeing you had broken me. So how was I meant to know what made a man when this is how you set the example? Use your own son as a punching bag because your own failures you couldn't handle. You see, I used to live in fear of you. I would tremble at the thought of you. You were supposed to teach me lessons to set me up in life, not send me to bed in fear each night with zero sense of worth. Like when I was born, I was never a son to you, but a curse. So when I became a father, I had no idea of clue or of what a father should do. Not a single lesson passed down from you except one. That I would never make my child live in fear of me like I lived in fear of you. I would spend my life until my dying breath to be the best father I could be to her without any help from you. When I should have been inspired by you. But the moment I held my daughter, I instantly became a better man than you. And here's the truth. You were never father to me, just a pale imitation of a man. It just took me years to understand. It was never my job to make you love me or make you proud of me. It was your job to give me something to aim for, to aspire to make me want to achieve a status of manhood higher than you. And I guess you did, just not how you intended. Because when I became a father myself, any questions I had left were ended. See, being a man was easy. All I had to do was love. Treat my child as the gift to me that she was. And that's the true measure of a man. And I pity you, because that's something you will never understand. So I'm glad I wasn't the prodigal son. I never tried to be the kind of man and father that by example you portrayed for me. Only through her eyes will I judge my success. And every day being her father is a day that I've been blessed. Thank you.
Well, I know that hit some hearts in this audience right now, didn't it? Definitely.
That was some powerful words, wasn't it?
Thank you
Mike.
so much for sharing that with us, Mike. Mike performs regularly at the Sunday practice at the Cellar Bar at the first Sunday of every month. Are they back on now? Hopefully they'll be back on soon. But just telling people that they can possibly find you down there when they reopen. Anywhere else where we can find you? Oh, I've got Insta, Mike Spoken Word, and Facebook, Mike Southwell.
We'll promote you. We'll get it out there.
Insta, Mike Spoken Word, and Facebook, Mike Southwell. Check him out, because that was very powerful.
It was indeed. Thank you so much. And to check out all of the artists performing tonight and the organisations that have been represented, check out facebook.com/loudspeaker show, and you'll be able to get snippets there as well. So our next spotlight guest is someone I met last year when my son went along to his hip-hop workshops at Left Bank Leeds. And after months of lockdown for the kids, these classes had an amazing impact. Hello Hip Hop is improving the well-being of children through hip-hop culture and its elements. They've been providing the freshest workshops and highest quality to schools and community projects since 2008. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words on this one. Tonight we're joined by Phil from Hello Hip Hop, and I'll let him share a little more about what they do.
Yes, thank you, Autumn. Peace to D3, Autumn, all the artists, and a big shout out to Loudspeaker Radio for getting us on, and Hayden and Josh as well for getting your life back on track. Enough respect each and every time. So my name is Phil. I'm a father of two. I'm the founder of Hello Hip Hop, and our aim is to encourage kids to express themselves through hip-hop culture, literature, music, art, and dance. And by doing so, we provide the illest hip-hop workshops to schools and community projects. Check us out next week, next Sunday coming up. We got lunch breaks down in Left Bank Leeds, a free hip-hop community jam for everybody to come down. All the elements combined. Have a good time, enjoy, and share energy. So that's next week. Yeah, so Hello Hip Hop, we encourage kids to express themselves through literature, music, art, and dance. And by doing so, they gain not just a platform to express themselves, but it leads them to a happier, healthier lifestyle. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Hello Hip Hop, on my website, which is hellohiphop.org. And it's for the next generation. Just keep it moving each and every time. So that's what Hello Hip Hop does. It's love.
When is that again?
Yeah, it's next Sunday. I don't want to give the wrong date, but it's next Sunday, June, the last Sunday of every month. Yeah, down at...
As well, we'll link it up on the Facebook page.
Yeah, please do. It's a free event. I've got everything. You'll see breakers, DJs, MCs, graph writers, encouraging kids to just get busy. And by doing so, we're just sharing what's been shared to us in hope that it'll save some lives and improve your life as it's done for many of us, everybody here. So that's what it is. One love to hip hop.
Thank you. And I can highly recommend that my son absolutely loved these workshops. And so everyone here with children, because I know we've got all fathers in the room, make sure you come on down to Left Bank Leeds next week and check out Hello Hip Hop. Thank you.
I'm definitely going to go, but I just don't know. I'm getting old a bit, you see, because I don't know if I might be able to pop, but I might not be able to unlock.
It's all elements of hip hop.
I might be able to get in, but not back out. Do you know what I mean? Just saying, but I've definitely come down because I want to check this out. But I've just been enjoying this so much so far, Sarah.
What a fantastic show so far, amazing talent, awesome organisations.
I've just loved the dialogue that's been going on because we actually spoke about this and we wanted to get men talking a lot more. And so it's been great to have the RT show where you guys just talk about men's issues, and the hip hop collective who, you know, give guys focus. But even, I mean, Peter, you did a few pieces, and it's just talking about all the different types of fathers and the different role models and father figures that we have. So I just think it's been a nice collective of things.
So big it up to everyone in the room.
Everyone that's been here so far. But next up is our interview with Intensive. Intensive is a Sheffield-based rapper and has a distinct way of piercing the introspective emotion of his audience. Intensive was born in Sheffield, the north of England, living on a council estate which he credits as the roots of his personality. I think I've got them roots too.
Yeah.
He has never been shy to admit and openly includes his struggles with mental health in his music and refers to this frequently in his songs. His quick-witted personality and humorous outlook on life are equally matched by his struggles with the demons raised by his Raised by his mother with no knowledge or connection to his father, Intensive tries to fill that void by simply talking about it. With the release of his EP, Father Figure, in March 2021, and a number of collaborations set up here in the UK and the United States, Intensive has fans eagerly anticipating. Fantastic.
Who wrote that bio?
Well, it wasn't me, I know
Thank
that.
you so much for being here, Intensive. We're so excited. We played one of Intensive's tracks. Remind me which one we played on the first ever episode? It was to Eloise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we played a track on the first ever episode of Loudspeaker. Everyone loved it, and we've been dying to get Intensive into the studio with us and in Leeds. So thank you so much. We're going to hear a few more of his tracks throughout this interview, but I'm going to start with a few questions about fatherhood and father figures, seeing as that's what we're all here to talk about today, and that's the title of his latest EP, Father Figure. So, who was your father figure growing up, or now, if you didn't have a father figure growing up?
It's a difficult one because we talk about fathers and men and stuff, but there's a lot of single mothers who have to take on both roles.
I'm a dad.
So
Me too.
big up those. But for me, it's always been my mum. In terms of father
Your
figure.
mum is your father figure.
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure,
it.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, even now, so if I've done something wrong, I'm nearly 30, but if I've done something wrong, I'm panicking that she's going to find out. So, but yeah, she's always provided with counsel or talking to me about things, even relationship stuff, which you probably wouldn't associate with a woman and a son, but it was the only person that I could get that sort of advice from, really.
Thank you. I really do love that answer, because both of us, D3 and I, are both single mothers, 2 boys, and so that sort of mum-son dynamic is, particularly challenging when it comes to the father elements to that. And I must say, my son is with his father right now, and he's definitely in his life. But it's just the day-to-day. Sometimes you've got to answer certain questions or figure things out. So thank you for sharing that. And big love to your mum.
100%. Big love. Big love,
Shout
Jackie.
out to Intensive mum.
To Intensive's mum, sorry. So you've recently become a new father yourself.
I have, yes.
And want to share with us how that experience has shaped you as a man and creatively.
Before Eloise was born, there was a lot of mental health. I was struggling to deal with my own sort of issues, my own personal demons and battles and stuff. And I think finding out that I was going to be a dad heightened it in a sense, because I think you have the general anxiety anyway of becoming a parent and how you're going to look after this human and are you going to do things right. But that was sort of the starter for me to get my head better, knowing that I need to be better for this person. I think the way I approach my mental health now is the same way that I approach fatherhood. If something's wrong with Eloise, I wouldn't leave it for 2 weeks before going to get it sorted. You know, you'd take her in the car and you'd take her to the doctors or the hospital, or you'd find out what's wrong and deal with it there and then. So that's the approach I'm sort of taking now with my own head. If if I can see a trigger or a warning sign, if it's a conversation that needs to be had, or if it's a doctor's appointment, then you just go and get it done and get it solved.
Thank you. And that's it, isn't it? Once you've got a child that you're caring for, it's not just your own things that you're dealing with, but also being there for them. So thank you. And so before we move on to further interview questions, we'd like you to now share with us your next track that you're going to be performing live on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a song about a lot of the emotions and feelings before becoming a father. Shout out Loudspeaker. Shout out Sarah, shout out Dee. So I say I wrote this one maybe a month before baby came. So there's not much of a mention of her, but it's more introspective. I've been biding my time, just minding my own, riding alone, too many nights on my phone, sat there deciphering life as I know what's the meaning of life I'm entitled to know. This year my daughter is born and my foremost thoughts to provide her a home, her needs undermining my own. I live 9 to 5, but I'm tired of it though. Sometimes I don't know where to go. I should get a brick and a bike and a phone. Swiping my phone, I could find 5 guys who will buy my lines 5 nights in a row. Never make a dime off it. I buy the supply and get high off it. 1 bottle and I can't take my eyes off it. 1 drink just to help take my mind off it. But I'm about to drop, free fall down from the cloud I'm on. There ain't many friends I can count upon. The old bite from the hand that I count them on. Making mistakes, I don't downplay mine. Stuck in routine, getting out takes time. We've both done and said some stuff we regret. That said, your guilt shouldn't outweigh mine. But the lives got dark and our lives got hard. When our hearts got sliced, life fell apart and our eyes got wet. When the skies got harsh, there's things I regret. And I played my part, but my mind was dark. Life got hard, I got writing bars with the same biro that was signing my gyro card. Handouts every fortnight, man, them times got hard. I was feeling empty inside. Turned 25, started questioning why. Drugs and the booze got me slumped in a room, in a mood, and the truth's been dressed in disguise. Old friends are like, I don't get you. You've changed from the day when I met you. It seemed in mind, cause he cleaned up his act and he don't have to ask for the cash when the rent's due. But I took a step back and the rest too. Got healthy and built up the bread too. Come a long way from that 1 bed in S2. Now I'm in S10 with a spare guest room. Life is a chick, I accept it. Life is a that I jump into bed with. Life is a I've slept with. Life is a that just keeps on texting. You couldn't spend a day in my life. There's days when I can't find space to unwind. I'm raging inside, I got thoughts on repeat and it plays on my mind like a tape and rewind. But I'm taking my time and I try not to think much. Tears from a page left note but an ink smudge. Gift to the world, king to my girl with a crown way heavy. I can't keep my chin up. Fix up, better see if these boots fit. Glass half full except when I'm boozing. Optimism starts tying up shoes. Pessimism makes a noose of the shoestring. How brutally truthful in a time where the truth can be brutal. Keep calm, don't stoop to dispute you. Wise old quotes look beautifully youthful. Searching for answers, I ain't got a clue to. Hate me in person, like me on YouTube. The same hands that are writing the music that soothed and amused you, entice and confuse you. Also clenches to bruise and abuse you. Don't ask my advice, just do what you choose to. And as for me, I'll just sit grey goose that I'd never say boo to. Thank you.
Intensive. Fantastic. Oh, I love a bit of wordplay, me. And you did so many then. I was trying to remember certain ones, but then you just kept putting more and more out that I've forgotten them now. I heard you say something about free falling from the cloud that I was on. Yeah, that's a crash down to earth, isn't it? You know what I mean? 1 minute here, 1 minute there. So I'd just like to talk to you about what's going on in your like musical world at the moment. You've just created an EP called Father Figure. Yeah. I would ask you the inspiration for that, but I think I can figure that out all by myself. So would you like to tell us a little bit about that EP though?
Yeah, so before the EP was created, which was produced again by DJ Agent M, by the way, who's before that EP was created, I was looking if I got a management thing, so I had management in place. And me being sort of the pessimistic person I can be at time, I wasn't sure how long that'd last, so I thought, I'm going to do something, I'll do something for my daughter, let's just get an EP done for it, it's a legacy. But as time was developing and we was creating the process, it opened up a whole new, not just emotional as a parent to a child, but just emotional on an introspective level, and it helped me deal with a lot of issues that I'd sort of left and swept under the carpet. So yeah, it was just a project that has enabled me to be the person I am today, and it's to the point where I almost want to leave that EP where it is now, and then on to the next thing, and more that sort of style.
I do totally get what you're saying. I'm a spoken word artist myself, and you talk about just like feeling that you've walked through.
And I think
by writing about it.
I think for me, the way I deal with things,
all your feelings and stuff.
I'm more better now at talking. I mean, I'm here talking about this sort of thing, but before that, it was a case of just if writing something down, and even if I didn't record it and release it, for me, it was put to bed then, because I'd sort of got that emotion out, and it put a blocker there.
I talk about that all the time, don't I, Sarah?
Yeah. On D3's creative writing workshops, which I recommend you all check out.
D3 Creations, check it out. But this show's not about that, so we'll move on. But I always talk about being able to, organise the thoughts in your mind, get them out on a piece of paper. Yeah. Once you've got them all there, and this magical piece of paper, it says everything that you want it to say, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And so then you can fold it up, and you can put it, you can physically put it away, and you can physically put it out of your mind. That's how I sometimes work through some of my issues that I've got going on. So I love that. Tell us about what you're working on at the moment.
So at the moment, we are... I'm planning for a tour. We're going to America, hopefully COVID dependent, in September. So we are just planning for that. We've got 2 weeks, I think, over there, myself and DJ Agent M, and an American rapper called Carnage the Executioner, who's a beatbox.
Called what?
Carnage the Executioner.
Carnage I thought you said Kanye.
So he's based out in the US.
Carnage the Executioner.
Yeah, so he uses like...
Anyway.
He's got a loop pedal and he beatboxes.
Very exciting going off to the US, though, right?
Yeah, definitely, I can't wait. It's just nice to be... even be in a different space than your bedroom writing songs, it's to be here today, and obviously we've got that to look forward to, but then the next step will be the big full album that we're hoping to work on.
Fantastic. And I think just travelling around, and it just opens your mind more, innit? And meeting new people, collaborating with new artists and everything, it's just all personal growth, isn't it not?
Definitely, and like we were just saying about how once you've talked about an issue, you've sort of put it to bed. Yeah. I'm sort of running out of issues, so getting a bit more life experience, obviously becoming a dad gives you tons of that, but travelling around, meeting new people, networking with different people, it'll give you more things to write about.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So where will people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, it's at Intensive Official. Intensive is IN and the number 10, SIVE official.
So it's got a 10 in it.
It's got a 10 in it.
IN, the number 10, Civ.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how to work that.
Civ with an E at the end. Yeah. Twitter's the same, Facebook's the same, and Spotify, Apple Music, for anything that you want to listen to.
And we'll always have, posts about Intensive on our social media at Loudspeaker Radio.
We definitely will. We're very, very excited to see what the future holds for you, Intensive, and we will be following you all along the way.
So now we'd like to invite you to do your last piece for us.
Yes, I shall.
Thank you for sharing that information. Piece is called Blurred Picture. All right, I'm looking forward to this.
It's not this beat.
This is live, everybody.
This song is based... I wrote this song after an argument with baby's mum. And we spent a couple of days away, a lot of time to reflect and think about things. We're happy and good now, so if she's watching, I'm just letting everyone know.
Lots of love to her.
We're all cool.
It's over now, we're not in
I ain't got my house keys, so when I get home...
I get home and everything's been chopped up.
We're good. Cool.
Thank you.
Another beat by DJ Agent M as well. Yo. See, if I'm honest, this weren't how I planned it out. Living hand to mouth and soon enough began to drown. And then the stress became too much and we began to shout. Classic rows. I packed my bags and went to Granny's house. And even though I wasn't home, I stayed awake just thinking of you. But my teary eyes kept blurring all the pictures of you. Me and Mama, we just needed time and space. And if she ever needs my help, then she can name the time and place. I hope you recognize my face, the softness of my voice. I've been gone a couple days. I'm lost within this void. The pain's as strong as I can take. This vodka is my choice, and if I drink it all tonight, I know that everything's destroyed. I mean, I'm desperate to avoid a pain you can't imagine though. I know how hard it is to be a kid and wish your dad was home. And when you're older, I just hope we can explain. But sometimes there ain't no reason for the pain, it can just happen though. And so I wrote this in the moment, trying to capture why me and Mum began to break, began to fight, began to cry. See, Daddy rapped his rhymes, it was his passion, it was his life. After you were born, I got a contract, I was signed. And Mum was so supportive, she was happy, so was I. After years of hard work, it finally felt like it was time. We finally lived the dream and it was mine. It was nice, but I knew it had its price, and my time was sacrificed. I pray that in the morning when you wake, I'll be at home, and your dad will not no longer be so haunted by these ghosts. And even work it out, but even if we don't, you know we'll always be around to help you out and watch you grow. I'm just trying to make our lives a little better than it used to be. Hurts when I'm away, but I'll keep chasing to pursue the dream. And I'll be back before you know it. I could read those bedtime stories that put you to sleep, I promise, girl. And despite the rows, you and your mum were best of friends. It's hard to comprehend, but she's your mum. Till the end, she'll have my love and my respect. She made some sacrifices too, the type of ones you don't forget. So don't be scared, baby. I'll take the burden for the both of us. Just know you ain't alone when it gets hard. You got the both of us. On my passions, though, I promise everything will be okay as soon as Daddy's home. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that intensive, always bringing it to the highest standards. And thank you for sharing about your experiences of fatherhood, and thank you for telling us all about your life. Oh, fantastic. Much love to your partner and daughter Eloise, and to your mum. We're really excited to see where the future takes you, and we'll be with you every step of the way. Now, we could not let you go. Sorry, come back. Yeah, there's more.
Back to the mic. You
Yeah,
can sit here at the table with us.
You've got this is the best bit now. We couldn't let you go without giving you a little run through with D3's special quick fire round.
Hey, we didn't tell you about this before, did we? It's a surprise. So will you take part in my quick fire round, carefully constructed to find out some more intricate pieces of information about you?
So what do I do? I have to answer as quickly as possible?
As quick as you possibly can. They've only got 5 here, so as fast as you can. Straight off the top of your head.
No problem.
Okay. Intensive, mash or roasties?
Roasties.
Tomato sauce, fridge or cupboard?
Cupboard.
Nightwear or naked?
Naked.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Gecko or guinea pig?
Guinea pig.
Yeah. I have to always cheer anybody that says naked. Just so we know, you know what I mean? It's not always about music around here. We want to know about you. So thank you so much for taking part in that.
Thank you very much for having me.
And thank you for being
pleasure.
such a great guest. Definitely. And you can find Intensive and his work on facebook.com/intensive. Don't forget, it spells it with a 10, the number 10 inside that name. So we can also follow Loudspeaker on facebook.com/loudspeaker show. And remember that if you're listening on Chapel FM right now, you can jump over to the YouTube and watch the rest of this live event on YouTube.
And you should be able to find that link on our Facebook page as well. Just a little reminder that we cover different topics on every single episode. Generally speaking, we're looking at issues of the world, addressing it through spoken word and conversation. And so our next topic for anyone that wants to submit a piece of work is pride and poetry, to celebrate pride. So if you want to submit your work to Loudspeaker to be played on the next episode, submit that to loudspeakerradioshow@gmail.com. And before we move on to the final piece of the evening, we want to send a big shout out to all of the amazing performers tonight. A big round of applause for everyone here. Woo! Thanks for coming all. And for all of the chapel staff for helping us put together this fantastic show and bring all these people together. Thank you so much to everyone at Chapel FM, Charlotte, Tony, and Elliot.
And of course, we couldn't let this show end without a special shout out to our dads.
I'd like to give a big, huge shout out to both my dads, my dad and my stepdad, who've been a big part of my life, all of my life, pretty much, both of them. I'm eternally blessed to have two fantastic father figures in my life. Each have brought different perspectives, different personalities, and different approaches and answers to the questions that I might have had. I'm so lucky to have you both. Paul Allison and Bob C. Big up to you both. I love you so much. Round of applause for them.
Yay. And a big, huge shout out to my dad, who was an amazing father, Lesford Copeland. He sadly passed away 13 years ago, but his influences still live on within me. I love you and miss you always. Happy Father's Day. I would also like to have a shout out to my son. He's on his second Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Kiam. I'm sorry that you couldn't be here with us tonight. I love you and I'll see you soon. The end of this show is near, but to play us out, we still have JJ Bance. And we're going to let him tell you a bit about him before he does his piece for us to end this show. So thank you, Sarah, for being my co-host. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show. And make sure you tune in to our next one.
Thank you, D3.
You're welcome.
Over to JJ Bance.
Good evening, everybody. My name's JJ Bance. And throughout my small circle, I'm known as a few things. And keep it nice, those who know me. Comedian, rapper, singer, mental health campaigner, event host, as well as other things. I do write original pieces, but a lot of the raps that I write at the moment are parodies. So that means that I take an existing work, I slightly change the lyrics while keeping the original flow, and create something that's entirely different but still pays homage to the original artist. My latest example of this is a song about mental health called Kamikaze, which borrows heavily from the song Paparazzi by Exhibit, which some of you may have heard, which is one of my favorite songs. This song speaks about the kamikaze nature of a mind that isn't in the best of mental health, and if left unchecked, it can bring down not only you, but people around you as well. And this is based entirely on my own thoughts and testimony from people who've either been through it or are going through their own mental health issues at the moment. So if that is you, then this song is for you. Thank you. Loudspeaker 2021, a dysfunctional member of the Bance Hub family. This is JJ Bance, and I'm bringing it to you live. One time, like this, yeah. Sometimes I'm wondering if it's all worth my while. I'm stressing myself out while making other people smile. And I've been like this from a child, growing up, showing love to those, but for me, they didn't give a Now that's why I only roll with the chosen few, plus my anxiety spikes whenever I look at you. So ease off the friendship talk, you're not friends with me, you're just affecting my mentality with negativity. I don't believe in keeping fake friends, homie. Check it, stop talking about my family circle as though you're in it. You and me, we've never kicked it. A lot of people talk smack and get batted for a six like it's cricket. But how many people do you know like this? Always saying they're feeling great, but secretly feeling it don't make sense. If you've known that person from the start, stop asking silly questions and look into their heart like that. It's a shame the thoughts that are in your brain can slowly drive you insane. That's no lie. It's a shame all the thoughts in your brain bringing you nothing but stress and pain. That's kamikaze. It's a shame the thoughts that are in your brain can slowly drive you insane. That's no lie. It's a shame all the thoughts in your brain bringing you nothing but stress and pain. I really do need lights and cameras. I need action. God damn it. Never feel more at home than the shows that I manage. The fighters kept. The fighters start to sweat and I cut through the fog with my MC dialogue. But after the show I can feel emotionally bankrupt, and people I've entertained don't know or give a and that's deep. How deep? Deeper than I can stand it. Home of the scandalous, big bad mental anguish, depression, anxiety. My thoughts are not to be trusted. Still pretend I'm not scarred so I don't get tired with that mind card. One day I'll be like, how you doing, my brother? Next day I'll be like, fuck you, my brother. I'm breaking it down. Sometimes my thoughts are about death, wondering what date and time will I take my last breath, but I keep it in perspective. Do you hear
hear me? Do you copy? This is for the people whose mind is acting kamikaze. It's a shame the thoughts that are in your brain can slowly drive you insane. That's no lie. It's a shame all the thoughts in your brain bringing you nothing but stress and pain. That's kamikaze. It's a shame the thoughts that are in your brain can slowly drive you insane. That's no lie. It's a shame all the thoughts in your brain bringing you nothing but stress and pain. Some people hide stress while they jest or just stay at the back. Others going through nightmares and don't know how to react. I wanna grab them all and hug them all, that's how I feel. And I'll get this message out without needing a record deal. Y'all know bad mental health is just tragic, and too much of anything can make you an addict. When my mind turns into static, I turn to automatic. Oh yeah, I'm okay, I'm doing great. I'm a great fake, but wait, who dares to speak these truths? Open your eyes and observe, cause standing here is your damn proof. So on behalf of all the people I've been drunk with or smoked blunts with, let's dispose of this dumb shit. Yeah, and keep our thoughts in perspective, cause everybody can get caught up in this kamikaze. Once again, it's the band sub crew, and we've got words for you like this. It's a shame the thoughts that are in your brain can slowly drive you insane. That's no lie. It's a shame all the thoughts in your brain bringing you nothing but stress and pain. That's kamikaze. It's a shame the thoughts that are in your brain can slowly drive you insane. That's no lie. It's a shame all the thoughts in your brain bringing you nothing but stress and pain. That's kamikaze. It's a shame the thoughts that are in your brain can slowly drive you insane. That's no lie. It's a shame all the thoughts in your brain bringing you nothing but stress and pain. That's kamikaze. Yeah, that's kamikaze.
Thank you very much for listening. You can catch me on social media, catch me on Instagram, catch me on Facebook. If there's a social media platform out there, chances are I'm on it. And my name's JJ Bance. Thank you very much for listening. Big up.
Music. Reviews.
Chat.
Poems.
Comedy. Writing. Interviews.
EFM, it's